All right, once again, this is ALK coming to you live. And like I always do, I do my spiel, the first part of the video, then go into stuff. My topic tonight is what country that we are living in. And it's a lot of things that we probably thought that it was done with and it never could return or but we see more racist stuff now than we ever seen. We see more violent than we ever seen in the past. And we see a lot of unlawful stuff taking place. So I lead this video is my number one goal is jail. I won't say the meaning of what I say, but everybody can look at it. Jail is jail. It's a the acronym means something to me. I start saying it after I go public and start really campaigning after the midterm. So number two is minimum wage, getting minimum wage up to $20. I believe I can do it. We just got to fight for having both the House and both the Senate. So we're looking at it closely and how everything will go in the midterm. So number three is healthcare insurance. I believe that we can improve Obamacare, which is a good resource. It's something that we just put to effect other than trying to destroy it. So I say I got some plan for Obamacare. It will lower medical costs, lower doctor visit to the doctor office, lower hospital emergency care. This is a biggie. I remember I went to the medical room and got a bill for the ambulance and everything else. So I know that can costly a lot. It was more than your monthly wages. So then number four, education. I plan on raising teacher rate. I'm trying to get a plan where if you do go to school 4 years, 8 years, or whatsoever, the open the teacher market and get more better quality of teachers, we might have to back off from doing the certificate. But if you go 4 years and 8 years, it should be good enough that you are able to teach in a classroom. Because I don't know why you go 4 or 8 years and then you still got to pay to become a teacher. So I'm looking into that. We'll thin it out or lay it out and changing school hours, dates, and everything, and making it more easier for family that work like a family that have to go into work early. But that's the plan. I have that plan laid out by the time I get to the point where I need to be at. And number six is Social Security. I'm planning on lowering the date when you get your full benefit. I know, I believe it's 62, probably that went up. You can get your I call it early pay, but you get your benefit early. But that benefit getting early is a slap in the face, and you have to be cruel to really keep that in motion if you're able to enjoy it early, than versus getting it at 67, 67 or 68 one of 'em. And I'm not too big about that. I believe it's 67. I'll look at it, but that is so late in the game for a person of age because when you that age, more thing is become costly. Doctor visit, medicine, getting people to help you if you need help or you have a disability, and all of these things is accounted for in Social Security. But we'll take a look at that. And I got lowered the date for getting funds early and put more money into the system and look at the economy and the house renter. That's all in the Social Security, and we have to make that amount enough that a person can live, whether they be a single or two person living. So my plan is based on a single person living. Now they so happen end up together or two people together, that's an advantage for them. But I'm looking at a single person living when I look at Social Security. So voting rights, and I know everybody talking about the voter ID, which is a cricket that the this administration is doing. The present administration, President Trump and his White House Kevin. My idea of voter ID should be any ID that is either federal or a state. You should be able to present it to vote, and you have to be of age. And what else? And we have to make it easy for a person to vote and not make it hard. We ain't trying to stop nobody. Shouldn't be trying to stop nobody. But we know the Republican Party is. And then number 8 is student loan cancellation. I believe that the federal government should be responsible enough to pay 80%, but after that, 20% should be paid by the student. So we want to get that in a way that when there are financially trying to finance a school system and go to school and work at the same time, I say it had to be two side to it. If you're living in the barracks or living in quarters of the institution, it should be a yes with the cost versus you living out in the economy. It should be a different cost of how much the federal government should pay for education. And I know there's a lot of grants, there's a lot of that, but we're trying to get it into one bundle and let everybody know that the system is to help people. So what I want to do is, even though paying 80%, once we get through this, start advancing people to understand that when they're going to school, they have to set up a plan. I want to build a plan that they go to school, they can get a financial loan cheaper than the grants and building up. So I have a cutoff there. If you get a full 4 year degree, I know some people would like to go to master, but once you get a 4 year degree, you should be able to get a good job. Now, I'm not saying now at this present economy, which is two, 2026. And I say that because if somebody watch the video afterward, or it won't be no mistake when it made. And I know the catchers say give you a date, time when it was made, but I just want to say it from my mouth as speaking. Then I want to look at number 8. My progress is rental price. I want to set a rental price to based company that in all parts of the states in the United States. Also with rental, hotel expenses, all of that. We have to look at it. Most people say, well, if they want to spend that money, they stay there. If they don't want to spend that money, they don't have to. But I say that because some places, if the prices are the same, you can't help but to spend it. So if we have one base price for name brand hotel, it should be that. It shouldn't be. Sometimes I know I have stayed at a place and I just skipped them my choice. They were like 200. I said, nah, I can't do that. And go get a place that is decent, but it shouldn't be that because it's a location. Even though I had to keep traveling until I found a place that was reasonable. but the place that what I was trying to stay was much closer to my destination. So you sometimes you have to go out the way, but you shouldn't have to go out the way with trying to find a good hotel. But basically for this is the rental price, based on 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. And the difference of that is home rental is a little different. And I know based on the home living, you have to pay a different price. So it's two set price. Rental prices, which is apartments, and then looking at the home rental prices when you rent a house. And then based on the townhouse, a little different, and all the lavish apartment townhouses and all of them, the different price. But it's the base on helping the economy with the rental prices and the home rental price, mostly working on them. So we got that out the way. I know I say that and it's in my spiel and try to get an understanding of this present administration. And I put in the description is it's the United States. What have we became? What are we? Some of the things that is taking place now, I thought it was foregone. And I've been in this world a long time. Probably ain't stayed in the United States all my life, which I haven't because of the military. I say 50, 50 of my years, I probably stayed in the United States. The rest of them was everywhere else but the state of Alabama. But I know there's a lot of things. I know it's a lot of conflict. I know people saying a lot of things. They saying that we want this and we want that. But my problem with all of that warning is some things that we have to set in place. And I know there's a lot of things fighting against a person that's trying to be successful versus they're just living. That's a different. When a person trying to be successful, do the right thing when they get the funds and overcome their economic losses or their poverty, yes, that's a benefit. Now, the most valuable thing that when people say they want things from a party, my goal is if you want money, if you don't have a home, you should invest in a home. We're not giving you money just to throw away. That'll be an issue that come up with a plan. You know, if I do reparation or do anything to give back to people that in poverty, I will do it based on are they trying to get a home or even better if they trying to get a better vehicle or something that's similar to they're gonna benefit them. Now, the key is for me is getting a home. If they're trying to get a home, yes, I think the government should be willing to pay a percentage of that due to the fight that all they shortcoming that they had and everything. But I'm like this: if you want to be successful and you want something or want a refund or your loss or whatsoever, it's just like the tariffs. We know that we pay all the high prices and this administration out they gonna give this or that. Excuse me. That must be I worked pretty hard today. I think I'm yawning already. It ain't even 9 o'clock. Well, 9 o'clock, but Central Time. But if they trying to do better, yes. But if you just ain't showed no improvement, if you can look at a person's record and see what they trying to do, how they trying to do it. Now, this terrorist, if me, it's already a loss. And most people say, how you get these people money back or split it in half to give back to all the people? Now, for me, I would take that money and do something very, very wise with it. People saying that they want the school bill. paid off. That could be something used to pay off school bills, and then after that, you set out a plan that low interest rate loan that student can get while they're going to school and pay by as they go. Nothing so expensive that they make a struggle, but sometimes you have to take the load off the government and sort of help out. You know, no one, I would say, no one want nothing so free and keep wanting the freebie stuff. At some point you want to build your life on the success of your ability. And most people say, well, they're taking everything. They did this, they did that, they canceled that, they stopped that. Yes, but then you have to look at it. We know the present administration that's killed a lot of stuff that help minority people, help people that in poverty. So yes, we'll work on that and get that stuff back in play. But it still got to be a point to learn from this that I got to have a better plan for my life. And I'm not down to nobody. I'm not putting nobody down. But and the mindset when you get the break that you need, you have to set your mindset that you don't return to this. And if something like this happen again, like this administration doing, killing everything they can, you'll be sort of above water. I know a lot of people is underwater. I know some people that's underwater. So with that, we have to help each other. And most people saying that, oh, they're not gonna get my vote, and I'm not going to bother to vote. But you have to vote, be a serious voter. That if you get the party that can help you, if you get the person that in office that can help you, that help you succeed in what you are doing, we need everybody to vote. You know, I'm not saying yes. I would say which party to vote at this moment now. If it was 3 years ago, I would say it's your choice to vote for whatever party that you vote for. But at this present moment in time, we need to vote Republican. I mean, not Republican, but I said that backwards. That hurt it to say Republican, but vote Democratic just to the fight that what's going on and what been taking place. Get them out of office. We defeat them. We all come together as Republican, Democratic. Everybody vote Democratic. Democratic candidate. Get them in office, and then if they don't do what they want, then you change the course in your life for the next election. But we have to get this party out of the office because they are the one that destroying us, and we got to do something. We got to come together as both parties. Say, hey, we can't do this. And people might say, well, Democrats should vote Republican, but there's no good candidate for a Republican that's running. Even in Alabama, I look down the line and see all that is taking place. Only good candidates I can say that we have is running for governor. Now we need to get out and vote for those that running in the primary. You pick a choice. I don't think that no one is better than anyone in the governor primary. So we have to look at that. So I'm saying that if we pay attention to that and watch that and know that who to vote for and why you're voting. Now, for me, I look at it, and I got my vote in mind. I already know who I'm going to vote for, but all the candidates are good. When I run in 2022, most of the one that were there, I run against, it was three female, but now it's reversed. It's one female with three male running for governor. And why I didn't run this time, I had my goal set. That was the only time I was gonna permit myself to run for governor unless something happened after this presidential election and everything go either south or go north. You know, I'm down with it. It's not gonna stress me out because I still have my life and pick up where I left off at in my personal life. So, but we do in Alabama, we do need to get people out to vote. I've been telling people, vote, vote. I've been meet people that don't vote. I met people that didn't vote when I running for governor. But I think the course is changing. I believe that some of the Republican people will vote Democratic due to the fight that what's going on with the Republican Party or MAGA. I won't even say Republican Party. So sometimes you have to separate them too, the MAGA and Republican. So it's a two and one party. But the Democratic, you got the same thing, but they more cooperate with each other. So we have to look at all of that. But I just wish all the candidates good luck that's running, that got a strong campaign. But we just need to get everybody that we can out to vote, especially all the young voters just turning the age to vote, get out and vote, get them registered that they can go out and vote. But tonight I didn't have too much. I didn't get on last week. I had something I was doing, so I didn't get on. So it was late when I got done. So I said I'll wait until next week. But I just want everybody to stay encouraged. I know this administration is killing us financially, economically, personal stress. It just so much intolerance, all the violence for no reason, all the racist stuff coming out, and all the negative stuff with the campaign. And I know people. I'm gonna say this. I know people is very, very crazy in Alabama because they are running off of President Trump. And I said to myself, if people have any common sense, they will say to themselves, I will not vote for that person because what the president does or what he signed executive order or what he approved or how many thing that he do, how many pardon he give criminals. It's okay to give some criminal that if the iffy thing they got arrested and put in prison for iffy, yes. But when it just plain out like the January 6th rioters and all of them, that was just live on TV. Everybody saw this. Everybody knew this. And if you liked that, it just that's some Civil War theme. It didn't get worse than that. But they are running off of President Trump. And I said to myself, these people got to have some serious issue, and they not leaders. If you gonna run, you cannot run off an individual that have no more, just have no quality of being a leader. Is always thinking of self, 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 and and that's got the cease. And I know, and that's why I say I hope that we become and represented. We have control. We just have super control. I would love to have the Senate as well, but that's the key. That's the stronghold. We just got to get everybody out to vote. But like I say, well, it's just rough in Alabama. We're gonna get totally rough. But I hope somebody rise in the case, you know, in the fight in Alabama that we get some good Republican that can win. Alabama it's a stronghold Republican, but the Democratic have the boys vote. If we was to get everybody out to vote like we should, and we can't fight, we can't force them, we can't kick them around. But we just hope that this is a turning point that they do get out and vote and make a change in Alabama. We got an opportunity to make history. We always had an opportunity to make history, but we choose not to take it. It's like when I was running, it was time for change. I still got that logo, time for change, and it just some doors open up, and people ask me why I wasn't running, not just close people ask me why. I said it because people wasn't paying attention to the news. They was accepting everything that the main media were giving them, a snapshot, hiding everything else. And I'll tell you the most disappointing thing that I have, then I'm gonna cut this short. I was running, and it's my story, and that's how I know this was my triumph. I was running, and I was campaigning. Pretty much, I hit half of Alabama, but then when I was hitting all these places, and every place I was going, they they made it known to me that who I was and and why I was running. But then the catch was what they was confused about it. The people, I don't know how they did it. They messed me up with somebody else, and I was saying, and I had to straighten it out like everywhere I went, and I'd give a spiel and tell them who I was, and pretty much had to re-identify myself because they gave me to be somebody else. It was somebody's picture, and then I finally found the place where they had me at. Correct name, but wrong face, and it was complicated because I'm like, why, and how that happened. But after I got it straightened out, the last month that I had the campaign was coming up to the primary. I got that straightened out and started going around to people. Then I figured out by that time people start realizing that would mean I had to go get my, you know, send the people a picture, had them and tried to get them to restate the statement of who I was. And I seen it on the news, but it wasn't me. And I tried to get them to restate it. They wouldn't restate it. So I had to go around a little more places to show my face, get them to know who I was, and and all of that. I spent all of that during my campaign, and that was I did get frustrated. I said, it could be a mistake. Then again, it could have not. But I had fun trying to go around Alabama, straighten everything out, making sure people knew who I was, and the face with the name match. It just the name was good, but the face was not me. But to make a long story short, it was just that whole 2 months that I campaigned trying to fix what somebody made a mistake. But all is well. I got through it. I came in. I think I came in the primary. I came in fourth, so that's pretty good for a first timer. I said, I said it could have been greater if I wouldn't try to spend the rest of the time fixing everything. But all this said, but this time I believe that running for president is gonna be a door open, and I believe that I'm gonna catch a win. But I just got to stay focused and let the people know that I'm real. I'm the person for the job to be the president of the United States. And I think I'm a strong leader that will call the people to have a change of heart about the United States, but the same as other country. But tonight, that's all I have. I'm gonna get on, get off here. I know it's getting late. It's 30 minutes, so I try to stay on about 30 minutes. Sometimes I ramble, but sometimes you have to figure out something to talk about. But I just like I say, stay encouraged. Like I always end this, ALK out, and hopefully see you some point of after the election. I start showing my face and start passing out my cards for people can sort of take a glimpse at the videos. I'm not really public yet, but when you see this, I'll probably be public and going strong for the next year and a half.